Hey everybody, Coach Burnside here, along with Coach Cox.
Hey guys, hanging out here in Las Vegas. I'm in Starbucks, so you can see it back here. Cool music going. But like Coach Burnside says, no matter where we're at, we're gonna give you what you need. So,
as always, we're excited to be back today on the coaches challenge today. Lucky enough to corner Coach Cox for a few minutes as he's out and about doing his thing, and you know, we definitely make this a priority for us to get on the videos and make it happen. It's not always convenient, right, Coach Cox? It's just not always convenient.
Oh no, not always.
And so I guess it's kind of interesting how that ties in because, you know, we talk about the gold medal coaching formula all the time here at the Academy. We talk about the 3 pillars, and this series and what we've been working on right now is we've been working on the pillar of championing ourselves and what it takes. And one of the skills that's in there is we have to be accountable. And it's kind of great because I'll be honest with you, Coach Cox holds me accountable to make sure we get these meetings done. And I hold him accountable. And if it wasn't for that, it would be easy because the truth is we're actually shooting this video a day or 2 later than we were supposed to because some things come up and we couldn't get to it. His schedule didn't match mine and mine didn't match his. And so we're like, man, we got to get that done. I texted him first thing this morning. I'm like, when are we going to do this? He's like, let's do it at lunch. So that's why he's at Starbucks, grabbing a little bit of lunch probably on between things. And I just found a moment to plop down and we can get this done. So that doesn't look like a Starbucks bag. But accountability. So the accountability, let's talk about that for a minute, Coach Cox. What does, you know, why I guess my challenge with the accountability deal is it seems like our human nature is we want to kind of be free. We want to be those free spirits. And when we become accountable for something, we feel like it corrals us or it traps us. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, you know, I think accountability is tough for all of us. It could be accountability any part of your life. But yeah, I think it feels restricting sometimes. I would agree. It really makes us feel like we can't stretch, or it stresses out. Like you said, getting this video done, we had to be accountable, but it doesn't feel comfortable sometimes.
So you feel comfortable being in Starbucks shooting a video?
Oh, I don't care of that. You know, I'm open with that. They can waive or, but I think the point of it is we have so much going on. That's where I think accountability gets tough and uncomfortable, is that I have this going, I got this excuse, I got that excuse. And so it gets a little frustrating because we all know we need to do something, but a matter of doing it is one thing.
So I agree with that. And one thing that I guess that we need to understand is, you know, for me, sometimes I don't want to be accountable for a lot of things because I think, I want to kind of grow at my own pace, or I want to do things as I want to do them, you know. But this is one thing that I've learned and come to understand over time is nothing that I do gets done without an accountability factor of some sort. You know, for me, it might be, you know, I go to work or I do my profession simply because I know I have people waiting at home that I have to feed that are depending on me to get that, you know, and I'm accountable for those. Another example might be the fact that, you know, I'm in charge of my own health. And I know that Coach Cox right now, one thing that he's working on, and he's being an example to me because I got to get going again because this is something that I haven't done for a long time. You know, last few years I've been so busy in life that I haven't been able to take care of my what health, I guess, if you will. You know, we sometimes get so focused on other aspects of wellness. You know, we might be spiritually focused and we forget to get physically focused, or we forget to get financially focused. And I know it takes all those and there's a balance, but so for accountability, you know, getting back to the gym, Coach Cox, I think that's something that, you know, that's been on your mind a lot. And let's use that as an example of why accountability is important for you to get back to the gym. What's holding you accountable and who holds you accountable for that?
Wow, I think that's it's hard because for me, the gym is I don't live in it. I'm not like one of those gym rats, you know, or those gym goers. So it's tough to get me. I think the accountability piece of what you're asking is my family, my kids, and myself. If I don't exercise, I don't feel good. It helps me feel a little better every day because I know I'm getting that cardio I need. I'm prolonging my life. But for me, it's also stress reduction. So how I look at accountability is I see a picture of my kids, and I know I need to hit the gym so daddy stays healthy and lives a little longer. Because we don't know. I mean, that's a piece of, but I'm going to do everything I can to prevent it. So I have to be accountable to myself, but also to those around me and my loved ones. Because that, I think fitness and exercise kind of goes a little outside of that. Because if we're not taking care of ourselves, it's not fair to those around us, because eventually they're going to have to take care of us if something happens.
So let me ask you this. Right now, it sounds like you're on a pretty good path yourself of, holding yourself accountable. How did you get there? Who held you accountable first? I mean, who did you come? Because I'm just guessing here that you were coming back to somebody and saying, I went to the gym today, or you were meeting somebody at the gym to make sure that you created that habit. And so I guess my question is now you're in that habit probably of going maybe Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at a certain time. But before that habit was created, who helped you create that habit?
Well, that's a good thing. It was, I believe you do better when you do have somebody to be accountable. So I have a good friend that we work out every day at 4:00. And we have a set time, and he's a gym guy. He goes to the gym. He looks the part. So he constantly calls and says, hey, you coming? And then if he misses, he calls and says, hey, did you make it? Did you do your workout? So it's kind of like that feeling. If I don't do it, then I'm not accountable. Then I'm a slacker. Because, as a coach, I kind of try to hold myself at a higher level. So it's good. So I think my accountability is I have a workout partner is what holds me accountable. And then my wife, we've set a structure up as well with the food. So we have some agreements there. So I'm accountable. But at the end of the day, the most important I've learned in this weight loss, and it's been a journey for years for me, is you have to be accountable to yourself, because all those other people, you can blow them off and have all the excuses. But at the end of the day, you're the only one you look in the mirror. And so if you're not accountable, you're not going to feel good. But I do put those safeguards in to help me.
So wonderful. So I think there's a couple things that I want to just take away here for us, for me, that I'm taking away from Coach Cox's example. And I know this kind of got personal, and I know this is our executive, part of it, and how do we do this in the boardroom. But at the end of the day, I think a couple things that we need to understand here is, one, I'm accountable. I'm the one that has to take the responsibility for how well my meetings go. I'm the one that has to take the responsibility for how well my team performs. I'm the one that has to take the responsibility for my growth and what I'm doing to grow myself plus my team, if that makes sense. So I think at that, we have to, like Coach Cox is saying, is we have to understand that it's up to us to make that difference, and it's up to us to grow. But this is the important factor that I really want us to understand here, is it is up to us. But the important component is somebody else or something else has to hold us accountable in order for us to also hold ourselves accountable, if that makes sense. So with that, I want you guys to think about it for a minute there in your boardrooms, or, and as you're sitting in your office and you're wondering about your team and how you can grow them or how you can better coach them and move them forward. As you're sitting there thinking about this, think about your meetings. We go and we have them and we talk about everything that needs to change. But where does that accountability factor come in later? How are they reporting back to you? What is their responsibility? Are they within 2 days? Are they supposed to send you an email, or are they supposed to come back to your office and say, look, I've done this. I've moved the stake one notch. I've moved this forward one thing, just like Coach Cox, in weightlifting, I'm sure he keeps a chart. I'm sure he's got a chart of what he lifted on certain days and, watches calories and those type of things and, how the workout's going. So it's all planned and there's a process. And then he's got the check marks. He's got the check boxes. You heard that he has this friend, this person that he works out with, and they hold each other. They check each other off there. So my question is, after your meetings, what are you doing to hold accountability? Because in all the organizations I've been in and with, we all have great ideas. Question number one, who takes control of the idea and moves it forward? because it's usually never assigned, right? Right, Coach Cox? We just go ahead and, that's what we do. We have this great idea, but it's never assigned to anybody. So problem number one that we need to solve is who's getting assigned to move this stake forward. Number two is who's going to help hold this whole thing accountable. Is that me as the leader, as the coach, or is somebody else in the organization? Doesn't really matter. So with that, I think we need to leave with a challenge today. There's a big challenge that I want to leave with you today. As we've talked about this accountability, we all understand the importance of it. I hope you understand the importance of it now. I want you to think, for the last 3 months, 4 months, year, 3 years, what's that one thing? One thing. I just want you to think of one thing that you've been going to do. Like Coach Cox, how many things, if I was to ask you that question right now, could you make a list of 10 things that you were going to do in the last year?
Oh yeah, I can do that easy.
And so the thing of it is we all have that list. We understand it. So my question to you is that challenge is the one thing, just like Coach Cox. I know a year ago he was talking about weight loss, and today we're talking about not really necessarily weight loss for him, but getting better health and getting to the gym is what it was. I mean, and so for him today, I asked him about it and he's doing it. So that's what I want to be able to ask you. 6 months from now, what's that one thing you're going to be doing? So this is what you have to understand. First, we have to verify that one thing we're going to start. Quit planning it. Quit preparing for it. Start it. What's the one thing you're going to start tomorrow? And number two, you become accountable for it, but who are you going to involve to hold you accountable? Does that sound like a fair challenge, Coach Cox?
Yeah, I think that's a good challenge. And, and also one thing I'd ask in the challenge is really define what the accountability looks like to you, because sometimes it's different to you than the other person or whoever's involved. Because like accountability, my wife will say, I'll say, hey, don't have snacks in the house. And she just says, just be disciplined and don't eat them. And for me, that doesn't happen. So, so you have to be accountable. So if you see it one way and the other sees it another, it's also in the workplace. If you're in the boardroom, like we're talking about, as a leader, you just think people are accountable. But me and Coach Burnside can tell you, not everybody's accountable. So you have to really define what that means. So that would be part of the challenge I would give you as well.
Awesome. So let's clear this up. So here we go. This is what I'm gathering. Number one, find out what it is we're going to move forward with, where we're going to start that stake and move it forward. Number two, find the person that's going to hold you accountable, or, how that's going to end. Number three with that is define that accountability and clarify that between the two of you. And I would love to hear, I know that Coach Cox as well, we'd love to hear your story, what it is that you finally took the challenge and moved forward with, because just like this, it's great information, but if you don't move forward with it tomorrow, it doesn't matter. And we all have our challenges, all of us. There isn't one of us watching this, there isn't one of us producing this that doesn't have a certain challenge that we're faced with. So my challenge to you is that. Find out what's the one thing you're going to move forward with. 2, find out who's going to hold you accountable. And 3, clarify and define what that accountability looks like and move forward. Get started on that one thing that's been haunting you or been on your to-do list for way too long. Because we all have them. So excited to be with you once again, as always. Please send us your stories and what it is that you have going on. You can find us obviously at gmcacademy.com, or you can email us at goldmedalcoachingacademy@gmail.com, whatever works for you. Find us, email us. We'd love to hear it. And so until we meet again, remember, we're always here to master, maximize, and build. Until next time, signing off, Coach Burnside and Coach Cox.